May the 4th be with you. Welcome to Some Good News Bluegrass. It's the first weekend in May in Kentucky, and what does that mean? Well, of course, it's Derby weekend. Not to be cheated this year, Kentuckians showed up and ran the Derby anyways. Here's Maria Montgomery with the call.
All right, Kentucky Derby at home fans, let's join Kurt Becker for the race call and get ready for the most oddly satisfying 2 minutes in sports presented by Hallway Feeds.
And they're off. Bucephalus KTA KTOB entry goes on the attack early. Tada Watercraft Artist already leaves them in his wake, and Hallway Feed Sloan on Amy gets going. Spendthrift Farm 4 months later, loving the sloppy track. Lee Mai with Juggling Artist. Racing is a balancing act. Liftoff Equestrian, the old hidden motorcycle routine. Mill Ridge, holy guacamole, it's the Sleeveless Horseman. Watercraft Artist still running rings around the competition. Tex Sutton with Marty the Mustang just waking from his flight. Chris Sussman and Barbecue Buddha tossing a few wings around. Kentucky Equine Research, KER Rona keeping it between the fences. Rude and Riddle, Rudy the Riddler stops to ask a question. Hallway Feeds Jockstrap Trainer cheering on his horse. Back Construction, horse hoping to get the blueprints for victory today. Barbecue Buddha back on the scene. The jockey's gone to the hinge tongs. Looks like Sloan and her horse have found a trampoline. Here's Josh Nadsum on the move. Northern Dancer has met his match. Hagyard Equine, Inflated Ego, letting the horse Mania horse know who's boss. Tailor Made, Logan Payne on Daddy Joe. Come to a fork in the road, take it. Booker's Bride with Bourbon Influencer. Who says no timeouts in horse racing? Marty the Mustang is now looking for ground transportation. Liftoff Equestrian, hitching a ride at the quarter pole. East-West Equine beginning to roll. Watercraft Artist, this guy is definitely a sea hero. Sloan on Amy, this horse was due to take a bounce. Sally Horse fans love the jockey cam here. Visit Lex, Daniel and Becca Boone, the founder of Kentucky, gets in on the act. Lee Mai with Juggling Artist starting to hit his best stride. Josh Nadsum on the move, still dancing. Liftoff Equestrian sets his mind to running. Here's Bucephalus still looking for worlds to conquer. But here's number 14, Sloan on Amy. That final furlong so difficult unless you have a slide. And she wins. She wins the most oddly satisfying 2 minutes in sports, presented by Hallway Feeds, part of the Kentucky Derby at home.
For tonight's health report, in good news, chiropractors are back open in Kentucky again. Here's Paul Ragusa from Bluegrass Chiropractic.
So it's Wednesday now that we're doing this recording. How many days have you been back open?
So we opened last Monday.
Nice.
So we've had 2 days. This is our third day at it now. And we've had some changes. We've had to do more sanitary stuff, some face mask, gloves, some more things.
Right, so you got the gloves
busy.
on.
Yeah, you got the gloves on.
Nice. So you got the mask on as well.
Yes.
Everybody who's coming in has to bring their own, or you supply, or how's
They
it
have
work?
to bring their own right now because we're short on them.
Okay.
The doctors at Bluegrass Chiropractic want you to know that when you show up for your appointment, call the office from the parking lot and they'll come get you. In tonight's What I Missed segment, we all know that proms across the country have been canceled. Well, some Boyle County high school seniors decided to show off their prom dresses anyways. From high school princesses in their ball gowns to one little princess who helps her Lexington mom teach a college class.
Abby has already turned in her work sample and she did pretty outstanding on it. So if any of you all have any questions about, what, oh my gosh. Did you hear what she just said? She said she got a booger. Oh, wow. Willow, yes, you did. You guys, I'm crying. Here, wipe it on there.
Earlier this week, we had the opportunity to sit down with an amazing, multi-talented master distiller, Patrick Heiss from Wilderness Trail Distillery.
Hey guys, Jeremy James with Some Good News Bluegrass, and today I've got with us a special local guest who really around here needs no introduction. Patrick Heiss, who a rock and roller, TED talker, fermentation specialist, bourbon distiller. I mean, that's Renaissance man, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, are you pro athlete in there too? Are you hiding something I don't know about?
No, I actually did play baseball in high school, but I refused to play my senior year because they said that if you were going to play baseball, you had to shave off your mullet. So that was a deal breaker.
That's part of the uniform now, isn't it?
Yep.
That's crazy. What's really nuts is all these kids growing mullets right now. I'm like, no, guys, no. So, all right, Patrick, you guys you actually did your release of your Wilderness Trail bourbon, your 4-year, a year and a half, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been actually 2 years ago this April. Yeah.
Good deal. Well, you guys started out helping other distillers and whatnot around with their fermentation and everything, and then you guys decided to go big or go home, right? And open up Wilderness Trail Distillery.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about how that started and what got you guys going here in Danville.
Yeah, so again, we started off with our Firm Solutions business, which is located over there off of Roy Arnold. And, as you mentioned, that business is a business that we market yeast, enzymes, fermentation products, and technical services to hundreds of distilleries here in North America as well as worldwide. And so at some point in time, it just seemed like a very logical extension of our business to start Wilderness Trail Distillery. And we're currently the 14th largest bourbon producer in the world. And just as of a couple months ago, got onto the Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
Yeah, that was a big get for you guys. You guys were on like the craft tour, but now you're on the big boy tour now, right?
That's right. Yep.
Nice. Well, we obviously love you guys. Have since day one. You guys host barbecue festival for us out there every year and just do an amazing job giving back to the community. So tell us how COVID and all the stuff going on with it has affected you guys and what you guys have been doing to keep yourselves busy throughout this whole period.
So we've been very fortunate in all this, what's going on. First of all, we've actually just went from 5-day production to 7-day production. So we're actually 24/7 maximum production here at the distillery. Probably one of the biggest things that's changed for us is, as I mentioned, we just got onto the Kentucky Bourbon Trail within the last couple months, really right before all this stuff hit. We just gotten accepted onto the Bourbon Trail, which would have meant a lot of tourism for us here in the spring. So we're missing out on a good bit of that. Our visitor center employees there, a lot of them, we've scattered them out over the campus. So we haven't had to furlough anyone, but we've been able to, move them over into bottling or other functions here on the campus. Probably one of the biggest things that we've done during this thing is get into the hand sanitizer movement. So distilleries are allowed to make hand sanitizer, and where we have so many connections to different distilleries, we've been able to facilitate the movement of a lot of alcohol to different distilleries who were greatly affected by the tourism issues, and kind of funnel some of that potential revenue over to those guys to kind of help keep them afloat during this time. And then ourselves, I'm guessing we've facilitated the production of over 100 1,000 gallons of hand sanitizer just within the last month. And we were one of the first ones to get on that bandwagon.
Well, that's awesome, because I remember seeing those truckloads of hand sanitizer and everything going out, because that's when you couldn't get that stuff anywhere, and the hospitals were running short. So, all right, so we've covered what was going on before COVID-19. We've covered what you guys are doing right now during COVID-19. What's some good news that we can celebrate and put out there, what we got coming up after we get out of this business?
Yeah, I mean, providing things get back to semi-normal at least, I mean, we've got the barbecue festival obviously coming up in September. That's been moved to Labor Day weekend. So hopefully, if everything works out, we'll still be able to have that. And, outside of that, we have, normally we have our Taste of Danville event here in April, which we missed out on. It would have been this past weekend. And that's when we do our new bourbon releases. So, 2 years ago, we released our wheated bourbon. Last year, we did our high rye bourbon. And then this year, we were planning on releasing a 6-year. So our plans are still to release that 6-year product. We were just out in the barrel warehouse pulling samples over the last few days and tasting that stuff. And so we're making plans to bottle our 6-year-old. And so that's coming up sometime real soon.
All right. So inside track for we'll break it just a little bit. How's the flavor profile differ on your 6-year from your 4?
Well, it definitely is different. I mean, a lot of the stuff you buy at the store now, it could be 4 years old, it could be 5 years old, and the flavors are pretty consistent between 4 and 5 years. But a 6-year-old has kind of turned a corner, and it does offer a little more complexity. Obviously, year after year, as we undergo evaporative loss from the barrels, the flavors kind of get more concentrated. And so the 6-year is showing really nice, and I think people are going to recognize that difference.
Well, man, I tell you what, like I said, we absolutely love what you guys are doing out there, and I would be remiss. I mean, if I have my bottle right here. I'm going to toast you guys and everything you guys are doing out there at Wilderness Trail, because why the heck not? It's my show, and I do what I want.
You're in charge. You run it the way you want.
That's it. I'm having a staff meeting right now.
Actually,
so
got a little here in my glass as well.
Oh man, see, you just keeping that stuff all over.
I already had mine poured.
Oh man, you just keep that. That's market research right now.
That's right. Essential employee doing essential work here.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually some of our rum.
Nice. Oh, that's a good rum too. I like that harvest rum.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, again, we toast to you. We cheer. Just thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for all that you've done for the community. Thank you for just everything, responding with the hand sanitizer. You guys have been always coming at things from an attitude of help, whether it's other distillers, whether it's here locally, whatever, to really make these things go. And that's what we love about the whole process and the whole thinking that you guys have out there at Wilderness Trail. Just really want to thank you, and cheers, man.
In another sign of return to normalcy, the sun came out this weekend and brought with it all types of farmers to Danville's Farmers Market on Constitution Square. They're there every Saturday from, I believe it's 9 to noon. Whether you're looking for handmade soaps, fresh veggies, baked goods, fresh eggs, even meats, they've got it all. Remember, Kentucky proud. Support local, buy local. Throughout this COVID-19 crisis, our Governor, Andy Beshear, has asked residents to come alongside in solidarity and compassion by lighting up their homes and businesses with green lights. Here are just a few of the many, many places around the Commonwealth, brought to you by a wonderful photographer, Kirk Schley, among other contributors. We'll see you all next week.